Welcome again to the Free Play Arcade Podcast. We just left Free Play Denton and we're headed to Free Play Richardson,
Whoop, whoop.
our fourth of the day. If you don't recognize my co-host, Chris has switched. Kelsey is back.
Oh my gosh. So
How we
funny.
started the day. We are driving against the sun, against the wind. It is
Against
the
the
end of the
wind.
day.
Yeah.
All
Feels
right,
like that.
so first up, we have to finish what we started before.
Yes.
The end of the year, 2019 podcast. We talked about the wide world of fighting games, various other things. Ninja Turtles Party.
Okay, moving on.
Pinball Mania.
Akon. That's where
So
we're at.
Kelsey really loved Akon. Let's talk about Akon.
It was fun. It was
The
different.
end, we're done.
Well, we had a whole
Great
we had a whole podcast about
There is actually
slash video. Do you call it
one
a
of my
podcast?
favorite podcasts is our walkthrough of Akon.
Yeah,
Not-
me too.
not like
I think
we
I
do
looked
in a
pretty awesome that day.
Kelsey's just like,
And
I've been
I'm waiting
watching
for
it.
somebody to teach me how to take like a screen frame of that so I can make it as my Facebook picture.
You know, they can send you whatever you want.
I know. Well,
Like they have like 4K video or something of that day. You can just be
Yeah.
like, I want this second, and they'll be like, here's the
if
photo.
you guys could find a second where I look awesome and I can make it my Facebook photo, because right now my Facebook photo is like really far away and me and the kids, and like
Oh,
it's
every-
like
All of my Facebook
like an-
photos, I picked like the most ridiculous looking.
I know.
I'm like, that's the one
A
I want to
ridiculous
represent
one is
myself.
okay too. I don't really care. I
All
just
right,
want it to
so-
be actually of me.
What did you like about Akon?
Well, I'm a fan of spectacle,
Right.
so it was different.
So it was me stumbling through Akon. That's what you
No,
liked.
it was different. So it was like exploring how it was going to be this time.
Right.
And I also had the benefit of not having ever been to Akon before, so I had no expectations. So there was no disappointment for
Right.
me.
So our friends, your brother, a lot of people were like Akon pros, but
I
we
know.
didn't really know what it was about.
I was like, there's a lot of cool arcade games here.
Right. And we were like, we're gonna like anime arcade game this up, and I thought that was a really cool part of Akon.
Yeah.
But there was also a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, I guess
Tabletop
so.
games.
Yeah.
A huge merch tent or like a vendor tent.
Yeah.
Which was really fun. I carried a guy like
I remember.
100,000 yards.
That was
He
a
weighed
very-
like 800 pounds. It was nuts.
Fun experience.
It's the most difficult video we've shot. It doesn't seem like it would be, but man.
Our videographer's like, we had to walk a lot that day. We were all connected together. That was
Right,
really the
that's
and,
right.
and there was like a tornado coming, and we are like, ah! I'm like running in the video. I'm like, ah! Everyone was connected. It was tough.
Well, and I
Um,
also, old bartender Danny, her dance troupe actually performed at Akon, and
Right.
that is what was about, I guess, about to happen when we left that costume contest. They did like the intermission for that, and I don't think she'll, on her deathbed, I think she'll still be mad that we walked out of there
we
without,
missed it.
yeah. Well, I didn't know.
Maybe that's why
I
she's
didn't-
former bartender and not current. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm sure
she'll-
it's that.
Maybe
one
she'll
thing.
respond on YouTube and tell us why. Yes, we did miss the dance troupe performance. We did leave the costume contest a little early. It seemed like they had
No,
some.
didn't we leave it before they started the costume contest?
I said a little early. That's pretty early.
That was early-ish.
And we went. I mean, I thought it was really fun.
I think the
but it was-
decision to bring the arcade to Akon was amazing. I don't know if that's ever to be repeated.
Well, if you're watching this, they haven't even talked to us, so they have not asked us back. So at this point,
it didn't sound like they maybe knew what they were going to do next year.
right. Well, they've
lot
changed
of-
the venue.
Negative. Did they change the venue?
Yeah. Because
Well-
Fair Park was like a last second choice. It was too much outside or whatever. So they've changed it somewhere. I can't remember where it is now, but it was it's more inside. I don't know. Now I don't want to toot my own horn, but one of the best parts of Akon was definitely those arcade games. Now, even
Agreed.
if they asked us to come back, I don't know if we would. So maybe they already watched.
Maybe they watched the
They
video
watched-
where we said that
they watched
already,
the
and
last
they were like,
podcast
"Oh,
where I
I
was
guess we
like,
shouldn't ask them."
This might be the only time this ever happens, which is true. Like, one of the things that Free Play does that. Oh wow, we're almost out of gas. I should probably stop. I don't know. It'll be close. Should I stop?
I don't know. What do you mean? How close is it? Like,
It
give me
says
some.
65 miles till empty tank, and we're about 50 miles away.
Well,
now,
I mean,
this.
Be at the K. Bailey Hutchinson.
Oh, I mean that's a good convention center. That's like the downtown Dallas Convention Center,
oh,
the big one.
cool.
So,
It's a good area.
Yeah.
Is there a hotel attached?
yeah, there's like, I mean, within like walking distance, there's like 3.
Okay, because I think that was a major complaint.
Right,
People
right,
like to like stay on premises and stuff.
All right,
But
so if this is an easy Bucky's exit, I'm going to take it just for you.
this
YouTube.
doesn't look easy. Are you looking at this?
That's not Bucky's, is it? Did I miss?
Well,
did I already?
No, but it's like, isn't that? It's just going to continue to become the exit.
Those guys don't matter. They left too soon. I don't know what's going on.
Construction everywhere, as far as the eye
I
can
honestly
see.
don't know what's going on. I've never seen that kind of. All right, hold on. This is the Bucky's exit. See, it even says Bucky's Boulevard.
Bucky's open now?
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's been open for a few months, and it's the cheapest gas we can get.
The best review we've gotten recently, maybe ever, is somebody said that
Our
the
bathrooms.
free play Denton bathrooms were the cleanest bathrooms around, cleaner even than Bucky's.
Yeah, and Bucky's
Yeah.
is famous for clean bathrooms, but I mean, we take sanitation seriously.
Explain Bucky's to the 90% of people.
All right. So if you're not from Texas, or I think they're up in Oklahoma and Arkansas now,
You should drive around so it can get it out the windows. Can it? I don't
I'm gonna
know.
back into Bucky's and be like, this is it. So Bucky's is like the biggest gas station you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like a mega store, but a gas station.
Built
Like-
around the bathroom.
Well, yeah, I looked it up last time, and it's like 28,000 square feet, which is currently about how many total square feet, including all of our warehouses we have.
But that's just the interior, right?
Just
That's
on the
not
interior.
including the like
yeah,
massive
and then they've
like.
got like 72 gas pumps.
so
whole
many.
on-
They have
an
their own
off-site
stop
car
sign
wash.
just coming into the Bucky. All of this traffic is just for Bucky's, and they have a 4-way stop here.
Right. No, it is a massive, massive enterprise, and like I'm totally impressed. Like as a business owner, every time I pull up here, and if you go into Bucky's, which I'm about to, they've just got all sorts of crazy products. Like, they roast their own peanuts, their own almond, every single nut you can count. They roast them themselves.
Every single.
Their own beef jerky, every kind you could think of.
They got beaver nuggets.
Yeah, they have beaver nuggets. They've got their own apparel line, and it's like they seriously half of the store is dedicated to their apparel. It's nuts, and it's like
And this place
cult.
is hopping. Like
Right,
there
it's
are
super
people
busy. I'm trying to get
everywhere.
into this. No, is he going? No, where's he going?
Oh yeah, he's gonna go. He's
But
going
his
for it.
gas tank's on the other side. No, he's
Oh,
going.
he doesn't know.
Yeah. We got this.
Oh. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my
We
god!
made it, guys.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so we're at Bucky's. I'm gonna fill up the tank really quick.
Is there an angry guy getting out of his car right now?
Could be a fist fight coming up, Kelsey. But we will be right back after we fill up our gas. All right, we're back. We just stopped at Bucky's, got some gas, and some snacks.
And some snacks. Okay.
So we're gonna test our Bucky's haul. First up, we have beaver nuggets. Kelsey, let's open them up. Let's taste them up.
Have you guys had them?
I've never had
I've
anything
never
like
had
Bucky.
them.
Have you had it?
Like,
Matt asks what they are, and that's a good question. A lot of ingredients, none of which are good for you.
I have an unpopular opinion about Bucky's.
whoa, is he against?
Whoa.
Is he against
I
Bucky's?
don't like the bathroom. I like Bucky's.
Do you think the bathrooms are
One classic restaurant, classic community.
Uh-oh.
I think having them anywhere close to civilization completely ruins it.
Well, I mean, this is Denton. It's
No,
pretty. It's kind
too
of far.
close. It
It's
needs
too.
to be like 2 or 3 hours.
Well,
out.
they used to just like they used to be a
All right, here.
truck stop style. All right, so we're tasting beaver
There
nuggets.
you go, Gabby made of real beavers.
Okay. Hold on.
Gabby did not like Matt's joke about them
You know
being made of real
You
beavers.
need to like put this in your mouth.
Whoa, calm
Okay.
down. Calm down. All right, so it's like a caramel popcorn kind.
It's like Captain Crunch. Beavers are damn sweet.
Yeah, so it's almost like a caramel Captain Crunch popcorn thing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Like if you tried to make a funnel cake long lasting or something.
I mean, all I know is there's a ton of corn syrup and like, what's trans fats, whatever those are definitely in there.
Brown sugar, cornmeal, corn syrup, vegetable oil, salt, margarine.
Oils and sugar. Oh my God. When do we get to something that could be like construed as healthy?
Oh, what? No.
There's nothing in there.
I don't. Oh God, that's all just one big thing. Explaining to me what margarine is, which is a lot of things that I guess I didn't realize all those things were in margarine. But
How many calories and how big is a serving?
all right, 140 calories for 2/3 of a cup.
How many cups? Or 2/3?
There are 12.
Ooh.
So
So that's a pretty fat. meat.
does anyone want to eat a bunch of these?
Yeah, hit me with one more. Come on. All right, 6 more. Let's just do it.
So that's 6.
Oh man.
Okay,
No,
that was my last one.
they're pretty good. Now we're gonna hide them from the camera and act like we're healthy, and then we're gonna eat them all once we turn the camera off.
We have some other things too, though.
Yeah, we have some interesting stuff.
Hot lima beans.
We do have hot lima beans.
Ooh,
I saw that. I actually thought it was Bucky's branded, and then I was in the line and I realized it wasn't Bucky's branded, but it still seemed pretty intense.
One.
Yeah, you want to try a
Hot lima beans?
Chris, you want a hot lima bean? Yes.
All right, Chris wants it. Matt wants it. What we got? Are they pretty awesome?
Really good.
Pretty awesome?
That's really good. Much better than I thought it would be.
Got a couple.
Oh my god, that's really good.
Hot lima, my hero.
Yeah.
That's super good.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
take it, leave it.
I'm a major fan.
I'm
Beans
actually-
made out of llamas,
Chris,
much
do you want any more?
tastier than kernels made
Ma'am.
out of beavers.
Tell me if you do.
If my state fair snacks were this good, I would be really into them.
All right, I'm actually really excited about the last thing.
What's the last thing?
Pecans. Yes.
Yeah, this is their famous pecans. They're roasted. And
Oh my god, they look amazing. I don't know
Toasted.
if you can see that in the GoPro camera. It
there's
doesn't seem like
no chance.
there's no. I know, right? Hold on.
Yeah, it's gone?
These are good.
She's
So
like,
if you've
yes.
ever been to Bucky's, this is what it smells like inside a Bucky's.
No, I don't care.
This is what it smells like when you walk in. Cinnamony. Oh yeah, that's good.
Tastes like Christmas.
That's
Wow.
the show.
That is good.
No, the lima
Oh my
beans are
god.
better.
Really?
I mean, lima beans are really good too, but that is really good.
All right, I don't know if you guys want more. I'm just gonna take this Uber one and one more. Here, I'm just
Oh man,
take them
And
to
they
your
thought
heart's
they clicked
content.
on this video to watch the year interview.
that was magic. All right, so we got gas, we got some snacks.
How long do you think they taste good? Because they're kind of warm.
Yeah, well, they came right out. They were like rolling them as I
Right.
picked
So
them
if I
up.
like bought these and took them with me, how long until
I mean,
you think?
could microwave them again or something.
Hmm.
I mean, a day. I'll give you a day.
There's no caloric information on this, but I don't think it's good.
There is no way if you keep passing that back here that it's gonna last a day.
Oh my god, that's
Come
so,
on.
that was really
One-
good.
One more.
Yeah, give me one more, and then let the back get their share.
I did.
Oh
You guys
my
can
gosh,
like
that is so good.
hang
All right.
on to them
This
because
podcast brought to you by my future diabetes.
Thanks, Bucky's. All right, so
what were we talking about?
you're finishing up Akon.
Hmm.
Um,
I feel like we finished it.
well, so Akon was really cool because we brought a bunch of games that had never been seen before at a free play or any other free play style arcade.
Mhm.
We also did a really good job replicating the not Ready Player One. What's it? High Score Girl games
Oh right.
at Akon because that was our theme. So we had like Final Fight, I think, in Astro City.
Hmm.
A lot of really cool
Well, and
stuff.
Josh just showed up with placards. So I mean, like all on his own, he just did that.
Right. Josh, our lead tech for Free Play, showed up with placards describing why the games were chosen and how they were presented and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really cool. We had a lot of fun. I know the State Fair Park thing got a lot of criticism, but I thought it was a really great event for us.
I was good with it.
Right.
The pizza lounge right across the street was amazing. So
Oh yeah.
And we also went to Pizza Lounge a few times.
yeah.
Met some old high school friends, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
All right, so after Akon, what happened next in the free play?
well, I mean, I think
I feel
actually
like
Let's Play came next, but we
already
reversed.
did Let's Play. Let's Play was really
Should
cool.
we go to
though.
Halloween because that's the next
right.
thing I know about?
So all we're gonna say about Let's Play anymore is click the walkthrough from Let's Play because that was a really cool walkthrough. It was like 40 minutes long.
it was
That's all you need.
Okay.
And then we went to the Halloween parties.
Halloween. I love Halloween. It's like the best.
So- I feel like while Free Play does a ton of really good New Year's Eve parties, the fact that they all happen on the same night kind of makes them less than our Halloween parties. Because our Halloween parties, we get to focus a Friday on each one, or a Thursday, or whatever day we choose. All the focus is on that party.
I don't know though. Our New Year's parties are more similar, so I
Right.
think it's easier to execute. I think our Halloween parties are the hardest to execute parties we do because they change every year
Right.
and
All right.
there's not
so,
a traditional setup. And costume contests are hard. Contests are hard.
this
to do.
Bucky's got you going.
I
So,
know. Yeah.
what was our first Halloween party this year at Free Play?
I was super excited about this one. And this is something that I was like, we could do this. And then Corey said yes.
I've been
And
thinking
later
about
he
this for a
lived
long
to
time.
regret it.
No,
Probably.
no,
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
It was Stranger Things Halloween party, and I loved it because I got to call James, our tech out in Denton, who's amazing. And I was like, have you seen Stranger Things? And he's like, maybe a couple minutes of some episodes here and there
You
in the
were like, "That doesn't
background.
count."
And I was like, that's terrible. Don't ever watch Stranger Things like that. And he was like, okay, well, today's my day off, so I'll see what I can watch. And he called me or texted me at the end of the day and was like, okay, I've seen the whole first season. And I was like, awesome. Can you make me one of those light boards
Right.
with
So
the letters?
There's
That,
an alphabet wall.
right, Joyce, crazy Joyce paints it on the
Right.
wall trying to communicate with her son.
Yeah.
And so James was like, yes, I think I can do that and make it so that you can input your own messages.
So that was the start. So we knew we wanted to do like Stranger Things. We wanted to do it right. And so to do it right, I thought we had to have a programmable alphabet wall. And James built one.
Yes, he did.
Super cool.
With
Super
some
awesome.
assistance.
Right, well, yeah,
Richard
so
and DJ and maybe Lonnie built the actual wall, and then DJ and I wallpapered it, and I painted the letters.
So James programmed it, and then DJ, Lonnie, Richard, and you all kind of made it happen.
Yeah.
Made it work. Really cool. So at the party, you could walk up to a tablet, input your message, and it would display on the right timing on the alphabet wall. Really cool.
Link your message. It was fun. The trick with it is that there's not a lot of decor that is Stranger Things themed.
Besides the alphabet wall.
So we
and
made,
some
which
Christmas
we made.
lights running to it.
Yeah, we ran some Christmas
We stole
lights
that.
around. There, we did get a huge inflatable Demogorgon, which was okay,
Yeah.
but it wasn't very scary. It was like more like cartoony. But
Well-
whatever, you take what you can get.
Well, and when we're making these decisions, right, I look at the total possible sales for the Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this inflatable Demogorgon is very expensive.
Mhm.
And I still said, okay,
Oh,
we should
watch
do it.
out.
Yeah,
It was like somebody lost a tire. Just,
Listen, I got it.
um,
Been here before.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you're a pro.
So, yeah, we did the Stranger Things, inflatable Demogorgon, programmable alphabet wall.
We
What
got
else
some
do we have?
balloons. I special ordered a thing of garland from Etsy where somebody had done the faces
man.
from, so it had like Billy
Yeah.
and 11 and Erica and I don't know.
It turns
a
out
couple other
Billy
people.
is all that really matters.
Billy is
From the last
so
season
good looking,
especially.
and I am not one of those
No,
people
it
that
was
ever
his
says
hair.
that. No,
I mean,
the whole look,
Steve
right?
had
It
the
was
hair
perfect.
Before, but Billy.
Steve is my favorite,
Yeah,
but Billy
I mean-
was perfection. When he comes out of like the locker room at the very beginning of Stranger Things
know,
3,
right?
I was like, oh my God,
Right.
that's the best thing anyone's ever done ever. Gosh.
So
um,
we hung up the garland that had.
so yeah, we got some balloons, and then Richard and DJ and Lonnie probably went to get a bunch of butcher paper, and we actually made
Right.
a tree.
So
and a portal, like a portal tree from the first-
kind of like map of.
Oh no,
the,
I was talking about season 1, the tree.
Oh, the tree.
The
portal.
tree with the
Yeah,
portal.
yeah. We built
And
a
then
huge tree on
While
the
we
wall.
were doing that, Richard was like, I think I might want to make that map
Right.
with Will's drawings that are all, and so they do that
Right.
also. And now and we also had, I got the map from Starcourt Mall
yeah,
and
yeah,
hung
yeah.
that up around, and then I made the wanted posters for the missing posters for Will.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, and we put a ton of those up.
we did.
It
We
was
put a ton
really
of them
cool.
up, and those were our Halloween decorations. So, and we also have red lights that we change out all the lights in the arcade. We do
Which
that for every
also
Halloween,
worked great.
which also works great and makes it look really creepy. The weird thing is, like, 2 weeks in after we decorated and right before the party, I mentioned something about the posters in front of my father-in-law, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, thank goodness! I just thought this kid had been missing, and I was really worried about him."
No, we had a lot of people come up to us and be like, "This Will Byers kid, I haven't seen him at all. Can I help?" And we were like, "Oh no, that's
No,
like tied
yeah.
into the."
So I think that was the confusing thing about the
Strangers
theme, because
thing.
everyone was not with it.
I think that means it was working.
Like, there was somebody, Richard walked up to somebody and they were looking at the Starcourt Mall map and they were like, "This place is 2 stories?" It's not
Yeah,
2 stories.
yeah,
that
did
was just the
happen.
mall. The
That
mall had
was-
2 stories
So
in the
not everyone
show.
was
So it
in the
didn't
know.
totally,
But
work.
even that, like, that's successful because they're talking about it, they're figuring out, and then you're like, yeah, and we're having a party coming up.
But the thing was, it was a really awesome party. It was our first party. I think it was like the 17th of October or
It was
something,
the
like halfway
15th or
through.
14th,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
And it was great. And our staff looked amazing.
So all of our staff dressed up.
Yeah.
A lot of our corporate team showed up, including you and I.
Yes. Corey was Hopper and I was Joyce.
And what's really funny is Kelsey was probably the best Joyce I've ever seen. But
yeah, turns out Joyce just looks like a normal person.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey has, she's a brunette with kind of pale skin. And if you put her in, what was it, like a flannel?
It was like an orange like t-shirt with like the rings around it.
Yeah.
Like a ringer tee, I think they call them. And like jeans. And I got actual vintage Reeboks, like white Reeboks like she wears. And then, a flannel shirt that I tied around my waist.
So,
and not a single person said anything to me about what I looked like all night.
Even though Kelsey looked exactly out of the show, not a single person
said anything
to
look
me. Like yourself.
Not even when I was standing next to Hopper. But I do have I'm going to send out this picture and see if you can put it on this video of Corey and me and Richard and DJ. And DJ went as Billy. And it was ridiculous.
DJ did a great job.
But and I loved DJ's Billy. He was amazing. And he was so cool because he went around and like had nice conversations with people and it was really fun. But Richard took the cake.
So, because Richard, your brother.
Yes.
My business partner. Shaved his head down all the way.
Yeah.
Then he got like a wig.
Not a wig. He got like hair and he spirit gummed it
and he spirit gummed it. He spent a ton of time gluing it to his head.
And he went and found what is his name? Murray?
Yeah.
He was Murray. And he just like wore a wife beater and he let the years of like hard work for free play show in his tummy. And it was so perfect.
He wore
the shorts and the flip flops
awesome.
And it was so perfect. And honestly, because he worked the event, because one thing we also did is we did cherry flavored Slurpees.
Right.
We got a machine just to do that. And he worked the machine. So when he was like running around working, he really looked like Murray, like trying to get some stuff done.
$1,000 on a cherry Slurpee machine just for this event.
I mean, we knew we could reuse it.
Yeah,
we weren't like crazy.
But that was nuts.
I mean, it's sitting in Free Play Fort Worth right now, waiting for somebody to come give it some attention.
Yeah, I got
you. But it was awesome. It was really fun.
The Eggo stuff.
Oh, yes. Matt has reminded us we also had Eggos.
We had Eggo waffles.
Yes, we did.
We had 3 recipes all from the show, including the one that Hopper makes 11, which is like Eggo, a ton of whipped cream, jelly beans, and a bunch of other sweets and stuff. Then another Eggo. And I crushed one of those.
Yeah.
There's some photos floating around.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was an awesome party.
But now, what we also had at the party was 7 hours of programmed Stranger Things music.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, when the Neverending Story came on, my heart soared.
Right. So we had like 6 different versions of Neverending Story that I played during it, including the original, the like Stranger Things version, the Stranger Things version mixed with the original, a like intense techno remix of it. It was an awesome party. But you know what really crushed the best is like the season 2 and season 3 soundtrack had a bunch of cool songs. Those did really well when we played them. And they might not like necessarily come up on our playlist normally. But anyway, Stranger Things party, awesome. We have a 260 person occupancy. We had 300 people show up over the course of like 6 or 7 hours. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want.
It was great.
What was the next one? The Arlington one.
Yeah, the Arlington one. And that's like the main one. And it's the it's Halloween.
Right. So Arlington, we always do like a Halloween generic, whatever that means, kind of style or decor.
And the primary thing it means to us, and so basically, well, on decor, let's say, the cool thing about the Stranger Things party is that all the Richardson decor got bumped because it didn't really go.
Because it's Stranger Things now.
So Arlington got the best thing ever, which is the spider that's always lived at Richardson. And Brent, who is a new tech, who didn't really have a location yet because he was meant to go to Fort Worth and Fort Worth wasn't ready. So he was just hanging out with us. He came that day and he was like, what can I do? And I was like, well, you could see about putting the spider.
He worked on the spider.
So he took it and put it on top of Let's Go Jungle. And I was like, that was the thing he did all day. And you're like, that's all he did all day, but it was totally worth it. It's amazing.
It's still there.
Like it's still there. Yeah, there's spider webs, there were spiders in it.
Now it has a Christmas hat on it because it's December.
Somebody put a little tiny Santa hat on him and I love him. It's perfect.
So they had 2 DJs, a sick montage, a ton of specials. And just a ton of and a big Halloween costume contest.
Which is the big deal. That was the costume contest. And we actually didn't end up staying for it. I was still so wiped from the week before. If you guys don't know, if you've never tried to do a costume contest, it's like the hardest thing.
Costume contests are tough.
It's the hardest thing we do all year.
Like,
you got to find a way to...
Everyone wants a costume contest, but no one really wants what that means.
Right. It's very time consuming.
If your costume contest is to bring every single person on stage and then judge them individually, it'll take forever, like hours and hours.
It doesn't run no matter how much, and we keep adjusting it. I don't know, Chris, how do you think it went the costume contest at Arlington? Did it go smoothly, or was it like usual, kind of weird and awkward?
It's always weird and awkward.
It's always
but
weird and
awesome as well, seeing a 15-foot tall transformer in the building.
Yes, to be fair.
And Deadpool won, and Deadpool was incredible too, who had his own sofa.
Right.
Yeah,
Baby legs
Deadpool with baby legs Deadpool. I saw the pictures for this, and that was amazing. I think the best part, the reason I think people like the costume contest is because then people come with ridiculously amazing costumes,
Right.
and everyone loves that.
Because it was a $500 contest.
Yeah.
Which is pretty big for the Metroplex. Like the DFW
Mhm.
area, there'll be a couple $200, couple $500, and a couple $1,000. So a $500 costume contest is one of the biggest in town.
So I think that's why we do it, because we want people to come and we want them to try with their costumes, and we love it. And honestly, that's a lot of hard work, so
Well,
we
we
appreciate it.
We had different people. We had DJ Terminator might be hosting it. We had our hosts and our managers working each side of the stage, because you have to be the person that shows them up to the stage, walk across, have DJ Terminator might be introduce them, and
Right.
then have them walk off. So it's like a whole process.
And then you also have to keep track of everyone that
Right.
was up there and hopefully put them in the right order. And good luck with that.
So that all went super well. We had 2 DJs. We had DJ Terminator Mike B, Vic 20 came after him to play like the best synthwave mix that exists in DFW. Super cool, super awesome. And that was a super successful party. Now, what's really interesting, the surprise hit of the Halloween season was the next Halloween party. Do you remember what it was?
Well, it was
Denton?
obviously in Denton, because that's what we had left.
That was the only other arcade we had open at the time.
But yeah, I do remember, because they do all the decorations and it matters.
It was
It was like black light. What do we call it?
Dark Wave. It was the
Right.
Dark Wave party. So Dark, and this is what's really crazy to me. Dark Wave has like 6 meanings. It has the original 80s meaning. It has the original late 80s meaning. It has the 90s meaning. It has the 2000s, and now it has like 2 different like electronic modern meanings.
Mhm.
And then it kind of has like a meaning that combines it all.
Mhm.
And so like it was really fun because we were like, it's Dark Wave Halloween. And everyone was like, which Dark Wave? And I was like, all of them.
Nobody was like, which Dark Wave? Really?
No, it happened a few times.
Because I honestly, until this very moment, thought that was something you made up.
No. There's a bunch of different Dark Waves because like there's Retro Wave and Vapor Wave, right?
Sure.
So Dark Wave kind of came back, but no one realized that Dark Wave already existed back in the 80s and the 90s. So they were just like making music on top of each other. In each generation. So yeah, no, Dark Wave is a real thing.
Okay.
And it's really complicated. And we had 5 hours of Dark Wave music.
Well, so I did
Black
listen to the
lights.
music, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember Arthur Williams came back from the party and said the music was amazing.
Right. Well, we do Vaporwave, we do Retrowave. Both are well reviewed, but Darkwave, a good produced Darkwave party, I think is the most like listener friendly that we do.
Well,
And-
and it's, we did it like our blacklight parties with
Right.
black lights. We taped everything, I didn't see any pictures of this, but I understand like they had blacklight paint for their faces, and Sochi, who works out there, is an artist kind of and does like body painting and stuff. So it must have looked amazing. And
Yeah, all the reviews were great. And yeah, that's pretty much what Halloween was at Free Play, which was pretty insane. And then we did what? We did some some Thanksgiving stuff, and then we did Last Christmas, which is kind of our year-end Christmas party.
Right. And it's honestly the best thing we do. It's like I always go, and
It's way over the top, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Like it's just nuts. And we always do it at Free Play Arlington, at least so far.
yeah.
And so the years before, we've done a lot of stuff. Some of it has worked. Some of it has kind of flopped.
But the
But
point
that's
is we're
part of-
always
that's
trying
part of,
stuff.
like,
And
Christmas,
the
right?
amazing thing about Last Christmas is we don't charge you a dime more,
Right.
and we spend a fortune
So you just show up,
giving you cool stuff.
you pay your normal admission, and there's always new stuff, interesting stuff happening. So previous years, we've had live music, real snow, ice skating rinks that didn't really work.
That was the worst thing
That
we ever
was-
did.
No, that
ice
was
skating
the
rink.
biggest money loser we've ever
Right,
had.
but like it was literally the worst thing we ever
Yeah,
did.
not
Not only
great.
did it lose them, it just was terrible also.
DJs,
So let's talk about what we did this year, because a
All
lot
right.
of it is stuff that recurs.
Yeah.
But there's almost always a door prize. So this year we had like miscellaneous card packs, vintage card packs,
Yeah.
and they were everything from like Backstreet Boys to Star Trek to
And yeah, these are like
Donkey Kong.
pop culture trading cards.
Right.
So Donkey Kong, Backstreet Boys. Chris, what did you say? The General Hospital one?
The soap operas of ABC featuring All My Children. I
Sorry.
was searching for that Erica Kane rookie card.
So, All My Children / the soap operas of ABC
Yeah.
was what Chris was after. So, we had a ton of like nuts, really insane cards, like Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think our kid came home with.
Beanie Babies is what the other kid came home with.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of like really weird trading cards, and we had like 175 or 180
Mhm.
to give away, which was really cool because it was totally new for this year. So we did that. We did our wheel of prizes.
Yeah, we always do a prize wheel, and it's always super cool. This year, the special, because we always give away some awesome Christmas DVDs. But this year we did, a lot of times we do McDonald's toys. This year we did some Barbies, some Furbies, and the best one is those old, what were they from?
Flip cards.
The flip cards, but what you
the
said was the name.
Hanna-Barbera Racers. Or
Right.
whatever.
And I saw these things on eBay, and I was like, oh my goodness, it like transported me to my childhood, the amazing parts of it only. So
Well, so yeah, back in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s, Hanna-Barbera had a racing series.
yeah,
And it was a single race that lasted an entire season of TV. And they made a bunch of flip cars from it. And that's what these were. So, like, I remember tuning in because it was like 15 minutes a night. And they would update us on what the status of the race is, which sounds really boring.
I don't know
Like
anything about that, but I
Yeah.
love the flip cars.
And they had a bunch of flip cars that were just different Hanna-Barbera characters flipping up and down. And that's what we gave away, in addition to all that other stuff.
Yeah.
In addition to, like, Steam codes and...
Oh yeah, we had some Steam codes, the misprint T-shirts. We always kind of
Right.
we try to fill up the wheel with cool stuff. Another favorite of mine is for the last, I think, 2 years, we've done Spinagog dreidel
Right.
spinning
Yeah,
tournaments.
and we
Like
should
Chris-
talk about
yeah.
Spinagog. So we were talking about skee ball in like 7 podcasts ago. We were talking about skee ball. So the same people who did all these skee ball bars,
Mhm.
they came up with another concept, which they found.
Which
when they were-
I find much better than skee ball.
Oh my gosh, skee ball's amazing, but let's put that aside. They were spinning dreidels at their bar
Mhm.
that has skee ball, and they found out like their like favorite part of it was seeing who could spin a dreidel the longest.
Yeah,
So they built a whole board game around that concept.
yeah, and it's totally worth it.
And it's called the Spinagog. And if you're watching this and you haven't bought a Spinagog, go buy 7, 10. You need more Spinagogs in your life.
It's the number one game you don't have that you're missing out on.
Because all it is, and it's really basic, they give you a bunch of dreidels, you spin them, and slowly the playfield that you're spinning them on gets smaller.
Yeah, so there's like 3, they all fit inside of each other, and you take them all out and you start with a big play field, and then you narrow it down to a smaller play field, and then you go to like the last standing play field. And also they have a bunch of backgrounds you can put at the bottom under them, so you could like
Well, yeah,
theoretically try to spin them and get them in a basketball hoop or something like
there are
that.
potentially other games like a
But I like the
baseball and a basketball.
pure
But
Spinagog.
all that really matters is to see how long you can spin a dreidel.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's like,
It is
I mean,
amazing. It goes very quick. Everyone can play. Like, if you have a hand, you can probably spin
right.
this
If
dreidel.
you've ever
and
spun a top in
yeah.
your entire life, it's time to play Spinagog.
yeah,
And it's awesome.
it's
So-
really fun. So we normally do like an earlier one and a later one, and people love it. I distinctly recall last year, this woman like wandering up and being like, just like her mind being completely blown by how much fun she was having,
Right.
and she just like wandered in that day.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's awesome. So we did 2 Spinagog tournaments. We had Calling Jack Burton, who I literally
Who
can't
are the
say
best.
more about. Like, we have had or seen every single major like 80s cover band in the U.S., at least in DFW.
That's probably the safer thing to
Or
say.
Texas. I don't really know. But I love these guys so much.
They're
come-
amazing. They always do an amazing job.
Well, and what I really love, it's like a great show. Like,
Mhm.
it's not just they're playing the music well.
Mhm.
They're really putting on a show, and I always love that. Chris, what do you think? You've seen a lot of 80s cover bands now.
Yes.
What's
By
your...
far and large, Calling Jack Burton's my favorite.
They're his favorite,
I
if you
love
can't hear.
how I love them. I love watching them. I want to be an active audience member. However, playing games while they're live performing is the best.
Right. Well, and I feel like calling Jack Burton. So what Chris was just saying, if you can pick it up on the mics, is that playing arcade games while calling Jack Burton is playing an arcade is like, that's the experience. Because when you're in an arcade, we're playing 80s music, but there's something like, it goes to another level when you're playing arcade games to a live band playing those same 80s songs. So that's what makes me love calling Jack Burton the most. They just nail a lot of our free play playlist.
They do, and not only that, they never seem like it's a burden to them, like a job. You know,
Right,
they
they
seem
have
like
a
they're
lot of
having
fun doing it.
and that is awesome.
And I mean, honestly, we've had a lot of great plans. We've been a lot of great bands.
Mhm.
We've been very fortunate at Free Play to have so many awesome performers come through that I don't want to I'm not really trying to talk down to anyone.
No,
But
but
calling
they're
Jack
the most
Burton,
real and on point, I think.
well, and I feel like they understand what we're doing with our playlist normally,
Mhm.
and they bring it to life.
Yeah.
So that was last Christmas. We had, a huge montage after that.
Oh well, there's so much more. So this year we had snow, but it was like a different kind of snow than last time because I guess
man.
our other snow people fell through from a couple of years ago, and if you saw that snow, it was really like snow we did in the parking lot, and
Right.
it was actually pretty awesome. This year it was a different kind of snow, and it was like movie snow, and it was super weird and awesome and not awesome at the same time. I don't really know how to explain. Like our
Yeah.
3-year-old, it made her day. She had so much fun. And this ridiculous
Well,
snow.
it was more icy feeling.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
But also
icy at all. It was
slimy.
like soap. It was like stepping on soap. It was so weird, but it wasn't soap. And I held it in my hands and went like this for a long time. And I just can't even describe to you. It was like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But the kids loved it. They had a little snowman that blew soap bubbles into the air. Those were actually soap bubbles. And it looked amazing. People would go out there and take their pictures under it and stuff like that. And then right next to that, we had a hot chocolate stand, which was so good, especially the little caramels that we had. And then outside of that, we moved all of our picnic tables out, and we had a bonfire, a little bonfire, contained bonfire,
Last
not like
Christmas is an insane, just nuts event. And I think the s'mores might have been the hit of this year.
s'mores are the best.
Well, and we did s'mores right. We bought all the name brand products. Bought them as in bulk as we could, but just went for it.
Let's be honest, we didn't really buy them nearly. What are you even saying? We didn't buy them in bulk at all. We went to Target, which is probably the worst place to buy
From
ingredients.
Target, we bought a lot of chocolate.
We did buy a lot of chocolate.
Right. So
my whole point is
Target has been out of chocolate for
cost wise,
weeks.
we didn't really do that great.
No, last
on
Christmas
it.
is not great for the old.
Well, because
profit
all of
margin.
those things we just said are totally free to everyone who walks in the door. This year was also a little bit hard because attendance was down for last Christmas, and we suspect the reason for this is the horrific construction going around.
It was construction and a Christmas
parade and or other things cutting
Yeah, we
off.
couldn't really figure out
Matt
what
and
was
Gabby
going.
said that it was, I don't know how long,
They
At least
took-
20 minutes.
Yeah,
at least a 20-minute thing to get around what they had to get around to get to
Yeah.
our place, and that's pretty daunting. I mean, they knew they were going to go ahead and come through it, but I could see how other people gave up.
But yeah, that was
So that's really, I think, the saddest part, because I think everyone that came had an amazing time, but I don't think enough people came. So we're going to have to rethink it.
well, and that was what was really interesting is the Arlington last Christmas marking response was far beyond what we had last year when we did just nighttime activities.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. It was the most busy that place has ever been.
Yeah.
But there was no construction, no weird Christmas shop or Christmas parade.
Yeah.
So I feel like that did depress attendance, but the people who came, I know, had a great time.
Well, they always do. And I honestly don't know how to let more people, especially with kids. And normally we're not going out of our way to fill the place up with kids, but families always have an amazing time on last Christmas. We always bring our children, and I almost never bring my kids to the arcade because they are so much work.
Well,
And it's hard to work and have kids
It
at
is.
the same time.
Early it's always kids friendly, and then late it's always kind of grown up.
Yeah, I don't recommend bringing your kids late. I mean, they
But
would kick them out.
we had more than 1 million people look at the ads, more than
I
100,000.
know, but not that
respond
many people
positively.
showed up.
It's true. It was down from last year, so
Yeah.
we're still trying to figure it out. Well,
Yeah.
we will.
We're gonna think about it,
And that kind of brings us to New Year's Eve.
which hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't
but
happened
we're
yet.
we're working right now.
That's what we're working on right now, sourcing all of our stuff. New Year's Eve, as Chris talked about last year's, is nuts at free play.
Well, and the number one thing our staff said is, hey, let's not do confetti poppers next year. And you know what we said?
No way, that was
No
awesome.
way.
Confetti poppers.
We're not giving you
well,
that
and
one.
they're not just
People
poppers.
love them.
These
Well,
are
confetti
true
cannons.
to life confetti cannons.
But I wasn't here when you talked about it at the end of the, but it was the best New Year's thing ever. There was confetti everywhere. Like people were like gasping because it was so cool and fun. And I just like being there in that moment. I actually I was watching our general manager, Derek, at the time because like he had gone through, I was so impressed with him. He did such a great job putting on this event and I didn't really know how he was going to do. So I was kind of watching him and just like they set off those poppers through everything. And for that 1 second, he just sat back and was like, oh, we did it. And it was like so nice. But
right. Well, that's
everyone had an amazing time.
midnight on New Year's Eve. If it's not like a huge cathartic moment, you've messed up your whole party. And I've seen it happen.
And we've done it different ways over the 4 years since we opened and multiple locations, but that was the way. We were like,
well, yeah, when we saw
it
that,
should
that
always
was
be
it.
that
But,
way.
you know, I've seen other arcades, other businesses, other bars have New Year's Eve midnights and just, it falls flat.
Yeah.
And I've seen how terrible that is. And I think, Chris, you've been in all of our New Year's, yeah? Or no?
Yes. No, I missed the first one.
Oh,
With
well,
the balloon drop.
the first
so
one-
I put a bounty on video of the balloon drop, which is why I have video of the balloon drop.
The first one was great. And that was actually, the first one didn't have a balloon drop. The first one, it was the second and third had a balloon drop. I think we got 4 now, yeah.
4 balloon drops?
Is this on our 5th New Year's? It is.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
You're right-
but the
you're
very
right.
first
Bounty
one
on the
was
second
was a month after we opened.
Right.
I believe I was at the first one.
Yeah.
the first one, I mean, they've all been really amazing. And that, I feel like we've really nailed it. But yeah, I feel like I've seen a ton of videos of bars that have just, for whatever reason, it didn't all come together.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's like the music after New Year's, right?
Oh, well, the New Year's
really
montage
makes
is
you
always amazing.
Feel like it's a whole new like life. It's a whole new experience. So
Yeah.
I feel like we've always nailed it, and I feel like the people that come to our parties always get that sense that it's like a whole new beginning. So we always get a ton of great reviews after our New Year's parties, and this year's gonna be nuts.
What I have to say is, I think we do New Year's parties the best way there, because I remember going out for New Year's before I started going. Well, there was a period where I just stopped going out because going out for New Year's was just so horrible.
Right.
But before that, when I was going out, everywhere was crowded. Most people were going out that weren't used to going out. It was very hard to get drinks, very hard to get food, very hard to move around town and things like that. Our events, are they all ticketed this year?
Yeah.
So they're all ticketed events, and if for some reason we don't sell out of tickets, and Richardson always sells out of tickets, Arlington is huge.
Richardson and Fort Worth are pretty much already sold out. And by the time they watch this, it'll
Right, it'll
definitely-
just,
be
but
past.
whatever. The point is, if they didn't sell out, they would sell them at the door and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's never overcrowded. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people there, so you're having fun and stuff like that. It's not a great time to go and have no one be there. But for a New Year's out, like, it's actually really awesome.
Well, and
I wouldn't do it any other way. I invite all my friends to come, and I say, if you want to come to the best New
Right.
Year's around, come
Well,
hang out with me.
by
And I
design-
have full confidence in that.
it's not crowded before midnight.
Right.
Like,
Well,
it
and
feels
honestly,
like there's plenty of space. And then midnight, it feels like you're surrounded by a bunch of like
happy
revelers, right?
people.
who are having
Yeah,
fun.
it's exactly how it should feel.
And then after midnight, it spreads out. You get to go spend time with whoever you decided to spend the new year with. And yeah, no, that's exactly how it should be. And it's gone really well for us. And
I'm really excited. I'm
we
not
have
a going out
4
person. I hate
parties.
going out, honestly, and I get tired really easily. But at Free Play New Year's, it's like I'm awake the whole time. I'm totally worth it.
What I always think
Like,
is
totally
really
into
cool
it.
is even our New Year's videos
Yeah.
are able to capture how awesome it is.
Well, this
Which
year,
I think like recording it is really hard.
this year I'm going to be ready with my camera, and I'm
Yep.
going to like get the confetti because it was my favorite. It was such a beautiful moment. But I'm not going to like pay any attention to my camera. I'm going to like set it up on a thing next to me and then be like live in the moment. But it was so cool.
No, and you could tell that everyone involved was just amazed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I hope our whole year. Do we miss anything, Chris? Did
I
we
mean,
miss
probably
anything?
missed a million things.
Special shout out to the Dallas Derby Devils for coming for a monthly Killer Queen event.
So
Yeah.
so Dallas Derby Devils started not only like participating in other events,
Mhm.
but they started doing their own events around Killer Queen, and they would come out wear
And
their
wear
roller
their skates,
yeah, and
which
skate
is
around Free
awesome.
Play
I
Arlington.
love
It was so cool.
I don't know where. I mean, I'd probably fall and kill everyone, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, no, we've had. I mean, and we had probably, geez, DJ Terminator might be out, I don't know, 19 times this year, different locations.
Who knows?
And he totally made his name on 90s.
Mhm.
Like 90s nights have become big because of him. So it's just been an awesome year
Mhm.
overall. So free play this year was bigger than ever.
Yeah.
We launched free play Fort Worth, which we didn't even talk about. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of podcasts about.
Also, we did that.
Yeah, those podcasts are sad. Let's not talk about them.
You almost had a wreck in that podcast.
I almost ran into various people.
Yeah.
So no, I mean free play Fort Worth open, doing great.
I know.
About to have probably the best first year, or at least the most like ticket sales for a first year.
It totally deserves it. It's going to be an amazing New Year's. It is going to, like, it's an amazing venue. I mean, we were obviously just there. I love it.
Well, yeah,
I love
and
being
I
there.
think, I mean, I feel the same as Chris. If I didn't live right here,
I know.
I would go there.
I know. And I hate to drive. There's no way I want to drive on New Year's, but you could probably talk me into going to Fort Worth for
So
New
the
Year's.
better question is, would you spend your New Year's midnight on the roof to watch the fireworks,
Roof.
or to be inside with the confetti cans?
Oh my gosh.
Right.
No.
Well, I mean, if y'all haven't been paying attention, Kelsey loved those confetti cans.
I love them.
They were. I mean, I love the video of them just going off.
I
so
guess
like,
that
that's
would be
how
like a
powerful they-
TBD depending on the weather.
right?
maybe.
If it was really nice
'Cause who
outside.
knows?
Because I want to be clear here. If you're watching this, no confetti cannons on the roof.
Come on. We
If
love
we
the
see-
environment.
if
We
we
cannot
see
be
you
like
out
littering
there,
like that, y'all.
You'll be kicked out.
Yeah. What?
It's not cool.
Well,
So
I mean,
we're
they're
gonna do.
probably like I was leaving anyway, but don't do it. That would just suck. Don't
I
do
won't
it.
be there. That's for Cody to do it. So, all right, we're pulling up to the lab. We're gonna like switch up all of our cars, get all back where we belong.
Wait, I thought we were going to Richardson. What
yeah, we
happened?
are. I thought we'd go after the lab
Oh, okay. I see.
because I
All
feel
right.
like we'll all leave from Richardson and do all that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm good with it.
all right, we're gonna park. That's I guess 2019 in review. I blame Matt for this podcast.
It was amazing though. Like I feel like we're the best. We're the best we've ever been, right?
Free
Like,
play is
and
stronger than
we're
ever.
always learning things and
Let me
and
stop this
fine-tuning
car and check our
things.
bank account and see if that's still true. No. I'm just but you
Oh my
know,
gosh.
we have grown. We have had amazing parties, amazing events, and there's no arcade in the world doing it like we are. So,
I'm so excited for next year.
so here we go. 2020. We're at the lab. See you at Richardson.
See you next road trip podcast.
Woo!